been outside all day.
Everybody trying to slide in, man.
Got two every time.
Frank? One.
I need to go do it.
Car hijacked.
That's why them shit's high as hell.
That's the thrift store.
I went to the one in Atlanta trying to find. I don't got them in Atlanta.
Hard.
Nah, it's a they got an outlet in Georgia. Talking about any discount. I need the one with the hood. And they had everything in it.
All right. Shalom, shalom. Keepers of sheep back on the highways and byways, prophesying downfall of America, aka Babylon the Great. We are the Hebrew Israelites, prophesying to the Hebrew Israelites, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. All right. Before we begin, we'd like to first start off by giving all praise, all honor, and all glory to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Kakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of the great millstone, Shalom, and Shalom to the hopefully elect.
Shalom.
All right. And today's camp will be titled "Make America Mourn Again." All right. And of course, it's inspired through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. All right. But today we just want to touch on how America wasn't always pretty. All right. Babylon wasn't always the pretty girl. All right. There was a point, especially when it came over here, it was rough or whatever. All right. Then of course you had the time period of slavery for us. All right. And you had Gad had their time, right? So it hasn't always been pretty. All right. This land has been defiled, all right, with the blood of the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. All right. So the land is gonna mourn again. All right. The people is gonna mourn again. All right. Not just Israelites. All right, but everybody here is gonna feel the wrath of the Most High Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. And somebody want to get a cry for wine. Kind. All right, because right now, you know, people are filled with mirth. All right, people are filled with joy, greed. You still can go to the grocery store. You still can, you know, get in your car and go to the mall. All right, but the time is, especially when ICE hit these streets. Not even ICE, but the military, right? Because martial law is coming, all right, and people will in order to leave your home, you're gonna need a good excuse, all right.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 24, and verse 11. There's a crying for wine in the streets. All joy is darkened. The mirth of the land is gone.
And this is a future prophecy, all right. It says there's a cry for wine in the streets, meaning people are gonna want answers. All right, people are gonna want because right now you don't see people at the feet of the Hebrew Israelites. You don't see people. You don't see Elder Apostle Gabar and Elder Apostle Tahar getting over 1 million views. All right, so you don't see people seeking the truth. All right, you don't people seeking answers. All right, only those like we went to last night. Only the elect. All right, only those who study. All right, because the time is gonna come where you're gonna need to know what's going on. All right, you're gonna need to know who's who. All right, because if not, you're gonna get caught out there. And you're gonna be like a deer in his headlights, right?
It's going to that point how say how this right now everybody caught up in the riches thing that's up the birth of what Babylon professes, so they don't really care about hearing this truth or hearing this word because it's at quote unquote it's at a peace standpoint right now, but Revelation 17 talks about that. It goes into that the woman. I read 17 and 40 out of verse 6. It says, and the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet, and decked with gold, precious stones, and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand, full of abomination and filthiness of fornication. And that's why the people, they overlook, the immorality, the wickedness that the America professes, because America helps them get the money and the riches. So they don't really care about what what's going on, or whatever Esau doing. As long as they getting their pockets full, they don't care nothing about that. But it's gonna come a time where they say, riches shall not profit you in the day of Yahweh Shah. And that security when it hit, the only thing that's gonna be able to get you through is what the scripture say. How shall we escape? It says if we ignore this truth which was taught unto us through Yahweh Shah, passed down through the disciples, the prophet, familiarly paraphrasing, then if we ignore it, how should we escape? It's telling you the only way we can escape is through this truth.
And wisdom and knowledge.
Mm-hmm. But I read verse 6, where the point also you was saying about how America was, and never just always great, but right now it's defiled with the how it's defiled what they did to Gad, what they did to our people in general, the whole nation of Israel. Right? Revelation 17:6 said, and I saw the woman, we're talking about America, drunken with the blood of the saints and with the blood of the martyrs of Yahweh Shah. And when I saw her, I wondered with great admiration. Right? So understanding that this place is drunken with the blood of the saints. Who are the saints? The Hebrew Israelites. The killing, the stealing, the things they done to our people. With Gad being over here, then us being brought over here. The so-called blacks, tribe of Judah, the southern kingdom. Look what they did to our people, man. Our people in general, the whole nation, man.
I was gonna say, I had a quick precept going off the point. How to, basically people living comfortable as of right now, right? With peace and things of that such. This second Ezra chapter 16 and verse 21 said, "Behold, victuals shall be so good, cheap upon earth, that they shall think themselves to be in a good case." And that's the point that I wanted right there, because while people living comfortable right now, right? You're able to get inside your get in your car, go to work, go to wherever you want to be, your refrigerator, your fridge, your cabinets, filled up, right? You move on your own timing, right? Nobody's uncomfortable right now, right? But soon it's finna come a time where everybody's finna be uncomfortable, right? The devil's finna come down with that great wrath, right? And we already seeing it now, right? How the government just shut down, right? And it's crazy. Do brothers remember when the government had shut down like a couple months ago? And what they was that on? The Day of Atonement, right? So these are all signs of the Lord just showing you, just hang in a little longer, man. Cause why? He's showing us a sign that he's working, that he's almost back to his return, right? Speaking about Yahweh Shah, right? So soon, these people, I'm gonna read it from the top. Behold, victuals shall be so good, cheap upon earth, that they shall think themselves to be in a good case, right? And these people thinking themselves to be in a good case just because they see gas down to $2 and some change, right? EBT and all that things, man. Okay, y'all go soon see, right? The families and things that says, like Infinite speaks about it, saying, even then shall evils grow upon earth, sword, famine, and great confusion, right? So all these things are finna soon come suddenly, right? And it's just like that, right? In the blink of an eye, right? And then that comfortable gonna turn into uncomfortable.
This is I'm gonna read this right quick. Again, just going into kind of the point that you had went into. What you just read? You read Revelation 17. I thought so. So you went to Revelation 17, talking about that you read verse 4. About that ring of purple. So just because the brother read it, right? Just a quick point off of that, right? Because as you know, that purple and scarlet, right, is going into consonants, right? America, they like brother was saying, they had a period of time where they was down, they had a period of time when they was up, right? But at the end of the time, at the end days, right? They're gonna be struck down, right? So this is Revelation 18, and I started at 12, and I'll skip down to 19. Right? It says the merchandise of gold and silver, precious stones and pearls and fine linen and purple and silk and scarlet and all down wood, all manner of vessels of ivory and all manner of vessels of precious wood and of brass and iron and marble. So again, that show you how that purple and scarlet is going to costliness, riches and such. Right? Verse 19 it says,
you should read verse 13 as well, going to the slaves.
So it's Revelation 18 and verse 13, right? It says, cinnamon and odors and ointments and frankincense and wine and oil and fine flour, wheat and beasts and sheep and horses and chariots and slaves and souls of men. So like the brother wanted me to bring out, right? Again, that's America was made rich off the backs of who? Israel, man. This is how they got their kingdom, right? Those riches gotten by deceit. They got their kingdom, by enslaving the Lord's jewels, right? I read verse Yeah, I'll skip down to verse 19, just to get straight to the point. Right, it says, and they cast dust on their heads and cried, weeping and wailing, saying, Alas, alas, that great city which, of course, is America, Babylon, right? It says, wherein were made rich all that had ships in the sea by reason of her costliness, for in 1 hour she is made desolate, man. So it's all going to come to naught, man. This place is going to be destroyed very, very quickly, right? It don't matter how many weapons they try to have, how many how strong they try to make their space force, or so on and so forth, right? This place is going to be destroyed very quickly.
Even when you go into history, something like America, when you see like when they were established, first colony, say Jamestown, all that type of thing, when they established these things, they could never really get the order together. That's why that's how the Great Depression did hit. They could never really get the order together within this place to keep it up, And so how they even do now, they had to really start, they always lean on the backs of people, right? You even think about the gold, California gold rush. As soon as they figure that out, what they do, they're going to kick them Indians out the land, the so-called Indians out the land, and take that. But things that such, you've seen how back then America never really had its order, until, Yahweh Shah, gave them that blessing to be that, that golden cup. And once America really established and became that golden cup, that's when they went out, and then they got that strong military, started getting a very strong military based on scientists and all those type of things. And that's when they went out into the world to take over everything, right? But that's been the plan from America from the beginning, to gather everything. America was just the starting point of what Esau was trying to get into, right? Job chapter 5 talks about the enterprise. This was the enterprise where they wanted to establish everything yet, because this is where all the, you see how it was in the land, gold, things and such, because this was before Esau got over here. We know who was over here, right? And they traveled over here, it was called Assyria, but they traveled over here because the northern kingdom traveled over here because the Assyrians had came into their land, right? And then Esau, they seen what was going on over here. They knew why they came over here. But Chris Columbus came over here. He came over here with, I think it was like 5 or such Hebrew interpreters, man. He came over here with Hebrew interpreters too, because they knew people was over here. They knew that they established to come out that bottom split, they needed this place, But ever since this place came into rulership, it's been dying.
Again, just getting to the title, what I'm saying, because there have been multiple accounts where Babylon has been at a lower state, or it has failed, right? Because America really goes into the early Roman Empire, because that's what this beast came out of, right? So that's what happened with them. When you think about the Romans, right? You got the Dark Ages, they fell out of power, and then Jake came into power. You know what I'm saying? So it's happened on multiple occasions. I like how you making that point, saying they've never been stable, right? You had America, you had the Civil War, right? You had the North against the South, right? The Union against the Confederacy, right? It's always really been a nation divided against itself, right? They have ups and downs, but this nation is ruled by wickedness, so it's never going to be able to stand.
Even point going back to the Roman Empire, they fell through inside trouble, economical reasons. They fell. That's how Rome fell, And if you understand, if you even see now, that the iron and clay, that's how America gonna fall today. Because you gotta think, the rise of America's in that top secret rise of empire. Their rise of empire goes to NATO, that beast, NATO, EU, America, things that such. That iron and clay don't mix. They never mix. When you go into 2nd Ezra chapter 11, you read about the 4 emperors. They was mauling and killing each other off. They was slaughtering each other. And that's what Esau still got that same agenda, that same concept about himself. But now they got a better way to hide things. Now they got a better way to put things to the side. Everything ain't just broadcast, or shown, because they got a better way to hide it. Or they'll show you in an entertainment form. Or they'll show you in a way that you won't really see it, because they done dumbed down the 2/3 so much that 2/3 don't even pay attention to nothing in that way.
Ultimately, these devils are powered by the left hand, right? When the Most High Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shah. That goes into Job 9:24. Is it Job 9:24? Yeah, the earth is given to the hands of the wicked.
That's just really how Yahweh Shah, set it up. They were supposed to come into into power only because you know what I'm saying, you had to punish Jake for what Jake did, right? When I think it's in Baruch 4. He didn't do it for our destruction. You know what I'm saying? But it was ultimately to teach us a lesson, right? When you go into the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, when it gives those lists of curses, it says these are going to happen if you don't do, what Yahweh Shah commanded you to do. And of course, Jake went off constantly, right? When Moses, went up on the mountain and got the 10 Commandments, right? He came back down, and what was Jake already doing? It was already worshiping false idols, so on and so forth, right? Just because that's the spirit of Israel, is to go off. That's why Israel has went off again to this date, right? That's why 2/3 of Israel has to perish and come through, be elect.
But you got a precept? You got a precept? Oh, this precept just back up both of y'all about how Most High using them through the left hand side, right? This is Isaiah 47, in verse 6. It says, "I was wroth with my people. I have polluted mine inheritance and have given them into thine hand. But thou didst show them no mercy. Upon the ancient hast thou verily laid thy yoke." So, Yahweh Shah, as the brother quoted, Baruch chapter 4, verse 6, Yahweh Shah sent us into captivity, but not for our destruction. But he sent us into the hands of Esau, Edom. Esau, Edom just went overboard with everything they doing, which you knew they would do that. But they went overboard with everything they doing, right? So there's going to be a punishment upon them. But they done got to the point to where, it is Jake's fault as well, by the fact. I was just going into this earlier in the lesson. Ezekiel 36:22, it tells you, how the Most High basically saying, I ain't doing this because you deserve it. I'm doing it because you have polluted my name. And that's what Jake has done. You got to think, we're the Most High's chosen people, right? So we're the Most High's chosen people. So when people looking at us, they understand that we're the chosen people of Yahweh Shah. And when we fail, they say, ain't it supposed to be perfection of beauty? As on some hate and grimy envying, right? And we done polluted Yahweh Shah name by running amongst and doing the things of what these other nations are having going on, right? So it came to a point to now Esau Edom feeling like, no matter fact, I read it real fast. But this is Psalms 50. I'll say 50, 55. Yeah, Psalms 50 and 21. Actually, I'm gonna read it in NLT. I'll read it in KJV first, then I'll read it in NLT. But it says, these things thou hast done, and I has kept silence. So Most High tell them, all the wickedness, all the things they doing, the Most High kept it silent. He ain't just brought judgment upon them yet. He said, thou thoughtest that I was altogether such and one as thyself. So they got to the point, just because Yahweh Shah ain't brought judgment upon them yet, they think Yahweh Shah, they think they're doing the righteous work. But as the brother just quoted, the Most High using the left hand side, the Most High using them through the left hand side to do the wickedness. Which that's what you do. You get the wicked to do the wicked. You get a thief to steal. You get a landscaper to cut your grass. And it says so you're using the wicked for what they do, whom resisting his will. Right? It says, but I will reprove thee and set them in order before thine eyes. Right? So this is the same precept, Psalm 50 and 21 in the NLT. It says, while you did all this, I remained silent. Right? All the wickedness, all the things they're doing. Right? It says, and you thought I didn't care, but now I will rebuke you, listing all my charges against you. So now he's starting it off because the morning of America is coming. He started off by what? The mouth of his prophets. He sent his prophets out here, the prophesy the downfall of this place. What in Jeremiah 28:8, they prophesy the downfall of kingdom wars. That's what the prophets are doing,
Yeah. Just a quick precept, just going into the brother again, because how they think, they think themselves to be in a good case right now, right? Things haven't happened, you know what I'm saying? So they think they're good. But this is Ecclesiastes 8:11. It says, because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily, therefore the hearts of the sons of men is fully set in them to do evil, right? So that's the way of the world. And when things when judgment doesn't happen, right after you commit such an act, right? You think, oh, I'm good, so I don't got to worry about nothing. But that we know, the ways of the Lord. Well, he's what long suffering. You know what I'm saying? So he's not gonna allow you to get away. It's a precept on that too. It's another apocryphal. I think second address.
What's that said?
Basically saying he's not gonna let you get. Oh, I think it's second address 9. They talk about while they had you at liberty.
Oh yeah. Can we go to it?
Yeah, you can. But this is verse 12. Right? It says, though a sinner do evil 100 times and his days be prolonged, yet surely I know that it shall be well with them that fear the Most High, which fear before him, right? Because again, we know, you know what I'm saying, Esau, Edom, they're the biggest sinners in the world. That's why they're the sons of the wicked. You know what I'm saying? They're the biggest sinners known to man, right? But, you know, though their days have been prolonged, you know what I'm saying, for a period of time, again, we've been saying, they came into power, you know, so on and so forth. What? It says it's full. Everything is going to, well, like the scriptures say, man. All things work together for the good of those who love the Lord, right? So it don't really matter what's going on in this song, right? Verse 13, it says, "But it shall not be well with the wicked, neither shall he prolong his days, which are as a shadow, because he feareth not before the Most High." So we know, whether it be now, whether it be later, you know, whenever it shall be, wicked are not going to be victorious.
Oh yeah, Con. I got it. Go ahead.
Y'all go ahead. I got a couple.
Nice. Go ahead.
Oh, kind. Because I want to grab Isaiah 19 for me real quick. All right, so precept. The second Ezra chapter 8 and verse 50, he said, "For many great miseries shall be done to them that in the latter time shall dwell in the world, because they have walked in great pride." And what was that talking about? Esau, Edom, right? That's why everything at the beginning of 2026 been going to shit to the mystery of Babylon, which is who? America, right? AKA Babylon the Great, right? And I'm reading from the top again, 2nd Ezra 8 and 50. "For many great miseries shall be done to them that in the latter time shall dwell in the world, because they have walked in great pride." So just because, like the brother was saying, just because that, you know, the Lord ain't punished them speedily, right, doesn't mean that it wasn't going to come. Because why? Because now all the miseries is coming to America now, right? As we're seeing it, even, you know, you got that out there. You started Isaiah what? 2, but you started verse 1.
2. It's Isaiah, book of Isaiah, chapter 2, and verse 1. It says, the word that Isaiah, the son of Amos, saw concerning Judah and Jerusalem. "It shall come to pass in the last days that the mountain of the Lord's house shall be established in the top of the mountains. It shall be exalted above the hills, and all nations shall flow into it."
What you reading?
I said 19.
Oh,
Yeah,
you said 19.
That's going to, you know, everybody,
Oh,
nations
yeah,
going to come into. I thought, like,
I ain't know where you was going with it. This is Isaiah 19.
Revelation
and
12. Now you grab
verse 2.
Job 14 to 5.
It says, "And I will set the Egyptians."
Nah. Start at verse 1.
Isaiah 19 and 1, it says, "The burden of Egypt. Behold, the Lord rideth upon a swift cloud."
You know that's talking about what? The chariots, right? The so-called UFOs, right?
It says, "It shall come into Egypt."
Egypt being who? America, right? Egypt is, you know, America, you know, aka Babylon the Great, is modern day Egypt, right?
Revelation 8:11.
Exodus 22.
Yeah, 11:8.
It says, "The idols of Egypt shall be moved in his presence, and the heart of Egypt."
That's crazy.
Cut off. Yeah, listen to the word.
Yup. So I cut the hands out now for real.
Yeah. So you start from the top.
Starting from the top, Isaiah 19 and 1, it says, "The burden of Egypt. Behold, the Lord rideth upon a swift cloud, and shall come into Egypt. And the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence, and the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it."
Can't continue on verse 2 being the point.
Verse 2, it says, "And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians." They shall,
And you know the modern Egyptians is who? Esau, Edom, right? So you can continue on. You start from the top.
Verse 2, "And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight every one against his brother, every one against his neighbor, and city against city, and kingdom against kingdom."
You know, and how it says, and they shall fight everyone against his brother and everyone against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom, right? You know, America been, been ruled through what? You know, the Democrats, the Republicans, you know, the Congress, you know, the Senate, and, you know, the president, right? But before I continue on, I had ChatGPT,
right? I said, what is this government shutdown about, or how was it caused, right? And it says it's about money and politics colliding. So, you know, when the government shut down, it's about what the Democrats and the Republicans basically not coming into, you know, terms. And then that's why, you know, with finance and things of that sense, and that's why, you know, the government shut down, right? And that's why they justice and get to justice and things of that sense. But now, oh shit, not Esau own people, not Esau own people is what going against each other, right? And now you can see that they discombobulated, right?
It's one state that's basically they're set up the government against ICE law, or they're one state set up its laws against ICE rule. Basically, they ruled out what ICE can't just come in and do what they doing to people. But it's just showing the start of, you know, that civil war, that the Egyptians against Egyptians, you know, that fight from within.
What precinct did you say you got, Matthew?
I ain't grabbed Matthew.
So just going into your point, I'm gonna read both of them. Really, I'll read all three because it's all saying the same thing. So this is Matthew 12 and 25. It says, "And Yahushua knew their thoughts, and said unto them, Every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation, and every city or house divided against itself shall not stand." Right? Mark 3 and 24. "And if a kingdom be divided against itself, that kingdom cannot stand." Right? And I would read Luke, but it's also the same. So, like the brother's saying, man, you know, you got a nation divided against itself, right? And that's really the way America has always been, right? Those two horns, right? The two horns, you got the Republicans and the Democrats, right? They can never agree on certain things, right? So that's a nation being divided against itself. It's not gonna last for too much longer.
That's why they're the main one that's so-called voting for the president, you know, presidency, right? But
I appreciate you back out a little.
Con, you go ahead.
This is Job 14, and I start at 4. It says, "Who can bring a?"
God had told.
Oh, you already told the
It's a
grass.
spirit.
Oh, Kyle, go ahead. Go ahead.
It was coming after that. What you was.
Oh, okay, we'll go. Yeah, we'll let it go in order.
All right. But I'll let you break it down.
Now, I was just gonna say a quick point because you know, going into, you know, backing up brothers, even though his days are numbered, his power is too. So meaning he can, because if it was up to him, he'd have ice gun all of us down, right? But with the spirit of power of Yahweh Shai, it's only certain things he can do and only certain things he can get away with, right?
And, you know, quick point too, not to talk, but that goes to show you that, you know, like a lesson I was doing earlier, you know, over in the precept in the NLT, Malachi 3 and 6, and it was like, you know, Most High, you know, the Most High did not change. And NLT said that's why the descendants of Jacob had not been destroyed. And that's supposed to show you that, you know, Yahweh Shai never left his people. He cut off 2/3, but he dealing with his elect. You know, and that's why he haven't let Esau just do the one. Remember when Revelation 7, chapter 7, you know, when hold those winds back until the number is sealed.
Chapter 7, verse 1.
Chapter 7, verse 1. It's like, what I say?
7.
Oh,
He said, "The Lord is not a man that he shall lie."
But in Revelation chapter 7, you know, what he talks about, you know, hold those winds back until those 144,000 receive the word of truth, man. You know, that seal. You know, and once they get it, and that's when he'll let Esau really come down with his wrath, because Esau wrath comes to them bring. You know, Esau getting his wrath, how about Shai gonna come and show them that they're nothing? You know, that's why you gonna let them do all the little bombing wars, things that stuff. Then how Shai gonna come and show them all that shit was minimized. I mean, it ain't nothing.
That's why I said.
All right, now.
That's why I say in Romans the 9th chapter. That's why I say what if he willing to show his wrath? Right, but I was going to say a quick point to what you had said when, you know, like it speaks about in Matthew the 24th chapter. How he said that. All right, going on. How he said he go shorten the days for the elect sake. Because why Esau finna come down with that great wrath, right? But I'm gonna just read these few points going back out this government shutdown real quick. It says budget disagreements, policy demands attached to the budget, political brinkmanship, temporary funding runs out. Right, and you know, and right there, right, and you know, all this leads to what? MOTV, right? Because what is all going into the money, right? That's what the government shut down about, right? So all this is just leading up to the all fight each other, right? But
even on that point, you know, the dollar is more and more nations have done away with the dollar, right? And you see know what I'm saying? Like we was talking about with Jake that you was with that Mexican restaurant. He was talking about how what he said, he was like he gonna keep all his money. He was like he gonna be good. No, you not. You know what I'm saying? Because that dollar that you got, it's not gonna be worth nothing. If it's not digital, you know the CBDC, the central banking digital currency. If you don't got that, right? If you don't got that.
Ain't nobody gonna say it though. Like, come on, it's right down right here. I'm telling you, bro. Say been working with
Yeah.
I'm about to know when they can hear me, but if you don't got that, if you don't got that chip, right? If you don't got the, you know, so on and so forth, right? If you can't pay digitally, then you're gonna be what was John exiled? You're gonna be exiled out of this nation, out of this economy, out of this place.
Quick point to back you up. It's not going. I forgot who said it. It's not going to be an announcement. All right, it's going to happen. You're just going to wake up one day. You're not going to have it work out.
Your account gonna get locked. You'll be wondering, damn, why you done put a TD Bank and damn Bank of America and they like, hey, you still got that pre-shot that just that I was at 1902.
Yeah.
You'll read that real quick for me.
Another point for you, I consider that. That's why Esau won't. That's why Esau he put all this like on the internet of what's going on politically and things and such. You know, he put it in Jake's face because he know Jake gonna rush to go get the main things that will bring you power, will bring you. You gotta think when the Great Depression hit, the only people who survived were people who had money. You know, the only people who had land and power,
the banks.
who had things and such, right?
Exactly.
So he know Jake gonna try to. You know Jake gonna try to stack his money up. You know what I'm saying? To be able to quote unquote survive. You know, for what's coming. Because people don't see it as Jake of trouble. They see the economy collapsing, Great Depression again. That's what they see. They don't see the you know, the scripts say the righteous see they fall. They don't see the decaying system. They see that America's gonna hit a little rough time, and if you got some money to get by, you're gonna be good. So
until it stands back.
so Esau know how Jake is, so he gonna let Jake run his money up. It won't like the brother say. He ain't gonna be no announcement. They gonna mandate that chip. Okay, you gonna wake up that little couple thousand, whatever you got in your bank account. Oh yeah, if you want that, you gotta insert this in your hand. You know what Jake gonna do. Cause Jake done bust his ass to even get this money he got. Oh yeah, Jake ain't let that money go. Jake don't even let his money go now.
I don't know if y'all seen, but Kim Kardashian is promoting the chip. I don't know if y'all seen it, but Elder Apostle Hart did a lesson on it today. I only watched a couple minutes on it because I was at work. But I seen it and I watched the first little clip of it. But yeah, she was talking about how Elon Musk feel like that's basically saying like how that invention and how chip is going to improve your thoughts and how it's going to make you become smarter and things of that sort. Right? But we spoke of those things. We already said it. The celebrities, the influencers, right? People in this world will influence the RFID chip.
The idols of Egypt gonna melt in the midst of it.
And another quick point on the chip. Brother guy watched that movie. If y'all haven't watched it, I forgot what it's called. It's on Netflix. Anyway, the guy gets shot. He ended up paralyzed.
It's called Upgrade.
Upgrade.
Think about it, horrible.
And so, not to spoil it, but at the end of the movie, he was trying to track down a man, but come to find out, it was never a man. But I won't spoil it. Just show you that everything is spiritual. All right, showing you that the left hand is really in control on this side.
Just a couple quick points, really, because how you was bringing up, or how you had brought that you want to talk about, that Great Depression, right? Because 1929, you don't know that was that stock market crash. Right? Everybody was rushing to the banks trying to get their money out, but they couldn't get it out. Right? But does that mean all the money, all the cash just disappeared from the bank? No, they was in control of the money. They were telling you, we can't let y'all have this because we gonna lose our money. You know what I'm saying? That's exactly what it's gonna be. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be a time where shit just gonna crash, or like how brother you said to the group chat, certain like cell phone towers and shit be going out. Verizon don't be having power. Like you just wake up one day and your phone not working. It's gonna be the same shit when it comes to the money. You're gonna wake up one day and not be able to access it.
Well, why you think Trump is after all this money right now? All these resources. Trump is the great example of that, right?
They know that they have but a short time. So that's why a lot of these things are going at a rapid speed.
Right. You want me to reread that? This is Isaiah 19 and verse 2. Right? It says, I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians. They shall fight, everyone against his brother, everyone against his neighbor, city against city, kingdom against kingdom.
I wanted that again because wow, it's really a lot, like 3 major things that's happened today, right? It stopped my the government crashing, and also Trump sues IRS and Treasury Department for $10 billion over tax return leaks, right? So now the IRS, even his own workers, is what going against his own. They leak his information and his family information, right? So that's why he's suing the IRS, right? But it just shows you how even the people is going against Trump, right? Like you read in Matthew, right? How can the kingdom stand if they're going against each other? This roughly paraphrasing. And just another one, right? On Anton headlines, U.S. missile destroyed docks near Eilat amid Iran tensions, right? And now they're trying to say that America is going to bomb Iran this weekend, right? And Eilat, if I'm pronouncing it right, that's in Israel, right? But it's just a lot of crazy things that's happening today. And just like Elder Apostle Tar said, like, hey, it's a couple weeks or months where nothing goes on. And it's a day or a week where a lot of prophecy, or what I'm trying to say, is being fulfilled, or speeding up, or rapid, right? But you got something?
This is Isaiah 14 and 12, right? It says, "How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning?" We know Lucifer isn't talking about the spirits people say. No, Lucifer is referring to the illuminated ones, right? The elites, right? Couple
Light bearers.
kind. Lucifer literally means light bearer, right? The shiny one, morning star. But when you go into to Strong's,
That shit
call police.
If she trying to get in traffic, she gonna break down.
She gonna break down.
That's why she got a gas. She needs some gas.
Yes, you better not stop it on that red light.
So in the Hebrew, right, the word is halal or halal, right? It says, but when you go into the definition, it literally tells you it's talking about what? It says,
Is this y'all school?
it talks about what, the king of Babylon, right? So it's not talking about saying that the spiritual demon Satan, and it does say and Satan, but in parentheses it says what, figuratively speaking, right? It's not talking about literally
The spiritual demon Satan. Esau created that image of so-called Satan. That's one thing they used to. Yeah, that's one thing they used to confuse people. Like it's people, when you go quote unquote go to hell, you're gonna see a guy down there just standing all red with horns coming out his head and such. Man, they created that image. I forgot the exact history behind it, but that's ain't no. You got the physical Satan in front of you every day, running around right in front of you each and every day.
Again, getting back to the point, right? Isaiah 14:12, it says, "How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nation?" Right. So again, right? It's talking about what, falling from heaven, meaning a higher state, right? They were living lavish at a point in time. So their heaven being, they're in rulership, right? But they are going to have fallen from it, right? They're gonna fall smack down on their face, and they're not gonna be able to get back up, right? Because the Lord Himself is going to do it, right?
And that's how that's another point to even show you right there, how you just prove that heaven is a condition just like hell is a condition. Heaven is just rulership, riches. They in rulership and they got a good life here. And just as well, heaven for us is what? Gonna be the kingdom, where we're gonna be in rulership. We're gonna have the richest thing that's up. Just things hell. Hell is a condition. Hardship, grave, poverty, destruction, which we face each and every day, which this place face each and every day. The soldier we in hell right now.
It's going to say that. So I'm going to keep reading. Verse 13, it says, "For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of the Most High. I will sit also upon the mountain of the congregation in the sides of the north. I will ascend above."
Quick point of going to 13. It just show you how Esau, don't want to control everything. 'Cause they know Yahweh Shah truly in control. Right? So they want to control everything. They want everything to be there. They want to have their eyes on everything. They want to have control of all the people, what you do, what you say, all that. They create these amendments, these laws and whatnot, but at the same time they still control you to a bit, to even how the laws affect you. the guy was speaking about they need to shut down or they need to minimize the First Amendment, whatever amendment it is to the one freedom of speech. Right? They want to close that down. They want to make that minimized where you can't speak against them. But it's gonna get to a point to where you ain't gonna be able to speak against them. But,
Verse 14 says, I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. Right? They got that kind of like confidence, right? They think themselves to be like them. That's why they got, what I'm saying, the AI. They got the genetically modified things, so on and so forth. Right? But the point that I wanted, because like you said, they're going to be, what I'm saying, that hellish state of being, right? Which is verse 15. It says, yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit, man. So that's what's going to happen to Esau Edom, man. It's going to flip, right? Like the Most I said, well, that Israel is supposed to be the head and not the tail, but what happened? We went out, so we became the tail, right? But it's going to flip, because what? Esau is the end of this world, and Jacob is the beginning of their father.
you was gonna go back to that Isaiah 9 times.
That Revelation.
Going to show you, man, this place, Jeremiah 51 talks about how there ain't no healing in this place. They trying to find all aspects or ideas or game plans to try to, make America great again. But America is, it's decaying, it's dying, it's in its mourning stage. And the ones around it is going to start mourning too, because they're going to see the riches and the things that we spoke about earlier. It ain't going to be worth nothing no more. Because America is slowly losing their value. Esau slowly losing his power each and every day. And with these, with Israel and America, you're seeing how prophecy being fulfilled, as the brother was saying, Jeremiah 51, how it talks about how, these countries gonna come up against you. What you put on your story earlier with, what was it, Iran, China, and Russia, how they come together against who? America and Israel, because also Russia's not gonna only shoot missiles on America, they're gonna shoot missiles on Israel as well, man. And this prophecy just showing you that Yahweh Shah showing you signs. Take Ezra chapter 9. He's showing you these signs, right? So it's up to you. Either you ignore it or you pay attention to it. To the elect, to the hopeful elect. These are the face boosters that we seeing. It's like once again, how I cussed them out about the sky. If we go outside and we see in the morning, we see it's sunny and it's it feel good outside. We're gonna know. Oh, it's time we can go get in the pool today. It's gonna be good weather. Well, we seeing these countries coming together to team up against America, and so guess what? We knowing that it's prophecy. These are the signs. These are the things that the scriptures told us about. These are signs that's showing us that America's at this point to fall. America had its rule. It had its little point where it was at the top country, right? But as you've been seeing, wickedness been going about, and that wasn't just for no coincidence. The scriptures say, I read it real fast. Proverbs 29:16. It says when the wicked are multiplied, transgression increaseth, right? That's all around. That's why you be seeing school shooting. You be seeing all these things. Cause why? This Book of Sirach tells you, right? Such is the manner the ruler of the kingdom is. That's what his people are. If the ruler of this world is wicked, then what you think the people in it are? But it says, but the point is right here. But the righteous see their fall. So we seeing these things, and guess what? We seeing, yep, this place is dying. Mary Dak is broken, right? This place is going down here. America's at its mourning stages. America trying to find a Band-Aid to, cover up his wounds, but he can't. Look what Trump said. Trump basically was saying that it ain't right how they basically like white people went. What was the what was the thing we had? It's something basically with slavery. I forgot what the day called, whatever it's called, but basically he's trying to say that whatever was going on with slavery, this black power move, whatever, it made the white people go through a lot, man.
Basically, we got rights.
Yeah, it make us
so-called rights.
It made them go through a lot. It made them look bad, cause why? Just like Cain was, he a fugitive from judgment. He want to run from what he did. He want to run from the things that he done. Matter of fact, you got a precept you want to bring up?
Yeah, what did you say about? You said something about China, Russia, and Iran going against America.
Oh yeah.
What you had said about that?
They should hate the horse.
Nah, see, that's a great precept too, but I had a.
Now I was saying how Jeremiah 50 talks about how China, Russia. Well, in the news headline, that the brother, your name one more time. I want to say that. Rock Shah, but he had reposted something. It's basically saying how China, Russia, and Iran coming up against. It was something basically coming up against America and Israel. They're against them. They planning exactly what Yahweh Shah said what he would do. And also in Ezekiel 38, how he gonna put his spirit on Russia and Russia gonna gather up those countries.
Quick point, because while we know the world is a stage, right? So you have the elites behind the scenes because they fund these wars. Okay, so the elites, they'll play one side and let the other side play out just to make sure prophecy is being fulfilled. All right, so because again they understand they can't do nothing against the will of the Heavenly Father. So I think it's in Ezekiel it says that how the elites are wiser than Daniel. All right, meaning these elites know what's gonna happen next. All right, so they trying to calculate every step, but of course it ain't gonna play out in their favor.
Can I read this real fast? To my point about how Trump basically saying whatever it is that basically us getting laws and us them basically bringing up what they did to us is hurting them, because they don't want people to know. Why you think Florida had been rooted out? Florida rooted out years ago that they can't teach Black history, right? Trump took that. Trump basically he getting rid of so-called Black history in general, the slavery. He's gonna get to a point where you're not
slave museums, Black history museums.
They're not gonna teach that in schools no more because Esau don't want people to be because now they've been exposed to the wicked. Remember that was part of prophecy, right? What the wicked be exposed, son of perdition. Now they've been exposed. Now they're trying to be revealed. Slocky, right? Let me paraphrase it, right? But now they've been exposed. Now they're trying to run from their past. They're trying to run from who they are. And for as long as they try to hide it, now it's being brought out. Now they trying to turn the nettle as they not them people. I'm gonna read this real fast though.
I was just gonna say, they was teaching that for years what just the program was, right? The show was like, y'all nothing but slaves and y'all ain't shit. Without us, basically, like we the one that set y'all free. Then they said even after slavery, what was it, Jim Crow law and things that said. So they was still.
I think that's so he mentioned it, how Jim Crow used to make them look like they bad to things.
And even during slavery, they used the Bible. They used the Bible against them.
This thing called a slave Bible.
See, that's why what precept it is, but it says the truth had been long without fruit. Now the truth flourishing. So now Esau ain't got no way to see the people. Remember, we're not ignorant of his devices no more. They can't get us no more. So now what they trying to do? Now they want to turn the narrative of the minds of the people, the ones they did dumb down, to look. Now we just gonna take that out of the way, take it out of school. We ain't gonna talk about it no more. We gonna just try to push it to the side as we do everything else.
Exactly. Same thing they did with the Lord. Same thing doing with us. What's that? Roughly paraphrasing the songs. That should cut them off from being the people.
I got a precept this to go into this whole point. This book Ecclesiastes 3, in verse 15 says, "That which has been is now, and that which is to be has already been. And Yahweh require that which is past." So he required everything, man. And he bring it to account. So everything you done, ain't no more hiding, ain't no more putting it under. And of course, there's things that we don't know that Esau done or done had going on, right? But at the same time, the things we do see, the things we do know, what the script say, Psalm 68:11, Yahweh Shah gave the word and blesses them who publish it. That's what we doing. We're speaking into existence of downfall of this place. We speaking into existence what's gonna come upon Esau, because we ready for it to come upon them. We ready for them to receive that judgment. In their mindset, they don't think they're gonna receive a judgment. They don't think nothing gonna come against them. But you got it.
Nah, cause point passed, but about the Russia, China, and Iran working against America. Did you mention anything about nuclear bombs? Anything?
No. I ain't talking about the script they're gonna come upon them.
But it had came across my spirit. Right? This because I had just mentioned earlier about how they saying that the tensions growing between America and Iran, right? Those allies, Russia, China, and all that, is going to be entire, into that World War III to go against America, right? And it's Isaiah 13:5, and say they come from a far country, from the end of heaven. Even the Lord Yahweh and the weapons of his indignation to destroy the whole land, right? And like he speaks of, they come from a far country, referring to what? Those ICBM missiles, right? That
Intercontinental ballistic.
kind of
Intercontinental ballistic.
intercontinental ballistic missiles, right? And what they coming to do? To destroy the land, right?
I had a good point on that. And it's
you
crazy
got it.
because the elder was talking about this as well. He was saying how these missiles travel up to, I want to say it's 6,000 miles, things like such. And Russia from America is like 5,000 miles. So it's crazy how Bashian Shah put his spirit on these scientists created to just where it can reach right where it's supposed to, you know?
Like we mentioned the other day, right? Because how Shah spirit go bend on what? You know, the missiles, right? But
shoot those arrows and shit.
when they go
So they say they're just 16.
pinpoint, they're gonna be pinpointed, located to, you know, like the brother mentioned, or how you see in the movies, or even in war, right? When they shoot at a plane and the shit get to tracking the plane or the boat and shit like that, ain't shit you can do about it. You can shoot the little flares, or you know, whatever the case may be. But these missiles ain't gonna be impreventable, right? They're going to hit where it's supposed to hit it and destroy this land.
I got a quick precept here, man. It's Job 18. Let's see if I want to read it. I'm gonna read it in NLT. Right, Job 18:5. It says, "Surely the light of the wicked will be snuffed out. The sparks of their fire will not glow. The light in their tent will grow dark. The lamp hanging above them will be quenched. The confident stride of the wicked will be shortened. Their own schemes will be their downfall." Right? It says, "The wicked walk into a net and they fall into a pit, and a trap grabs them by the heel." And when you really understand, I was reading this earlier, you know, on the way to camp, when he bruised it, when we in script say, you know, they bruised our head, we bruised their heel. Understanding that, you know, when you truly understand it, the prophets are really those are those traps that Esau really fell into. You know, understand is the point of how Yahweh Shah put the word, the mouth of the Lord right now is his prophets. You know, so these traps have been set up to where now they done dumbed down to 2/3 of people. But you remember, Yahweh Shah said, "I had a remnant that's not gonna bow down to the image of Baal." So now you got those, you got the prophets, you got the 6 million Yahweh Shah speaking against this place, right? Leading the right to where they gonna go. We you know, the prophets prophesying to you what's exactly going to happen before it happened. That's what these prophets do. They come tell you what's going to happen, then it go down. You know, and Esau falling.
So like I was just gonna say, you know, that we used to be called seers back in, you know, back in the day.
But they fall right into the trap that Yahweh Shah got him in. Yeah, Esau running around doing what he want to do because he knew exactly what they gonna do because he set them to do it. But again, he says a trap grabs them by the heel, a snare holds them tight. That's, a snare is a trap, right? It says a noose lies hidden on the ground, a rope is stretched across their path. Terrorists surround the wicked and trouble them at every step. But I'm gonna jump down because the point we want to hit to is right here. Right? It says verse 15. It says the homes of the wicked will burn down. Burning sulfur rains on their houses. Their roots will dry up. Their branches will wither. All memory of their existence will fade from the earth. No one will remember their names. They will be thrust from light to darkness, driven from the world. They will have neither children. They have neither children nor grandchildren nor any survivor in a place where they live. Right? In Isaiah 13 and Isaiah 34, it tells you vividly how Yahweh Shah gonna bring destruction upon that place, and Esau Edom, his place, and him gonna be cut off from the world forever.
Oh, that was beautiful. That was good. I got a precept for that, and I got a precept for what June brought out. But I grab this first and back up the brother. This is Isaiah, because basically, you know, Esau can't escape this time. All right, he got away as Cain, he got away as Esau. You know, as Esau Edom, Jacob's brother. But this time he won't escape. This is Isaiah 47, verse 1. It reads, says, "Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Sit on the ground. There is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate." And I only grabbed that because the brother went into, you know, how this place gonna be destroyed with the missiles or whatever. And, you know, Elder Apostle Tahar went into it, being that a virgin, meaning that this place has never been touched, and it was going to how the missiles, they take the shape, what they shape as a penis. All right, so meaning, you know, this place is literally gonna get it. All right, it's gonna get a cherry pop, right? But
You
you
The
just
other
say,
precept.
all the
I got
spirit
another
of
precept
Yahweh
for you. You got to
Shemel
get on that point you just brought out.
Say what?
I was saying that's how you know it's all the spirit of Yahweh Shemel shot to like he places the spirit upon Esau Edom to create, you know what I'm saying, these missiles and just to do certain things, right? Because it's all according to his plan. Right? Esau, as far as the scriptures tell you, you can do nothing against the truth but for the truth.
You gonna bring that down, bring out the precept of the daughter of Babylon.
Con, this is Isaiah 47:1. It says, "Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Sit on the ground. There is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate."
Con. So this Psalm 137 in verse 7, it says, "Remember, O Lord, Yahweh, the children of Edom, in the day of Jerusalem, who said, raise it, even to the foundation thereof, when they came 67 AD to 70 AD and destroyed Jerusalem, and the Romans, right, which are Edomites, right? It says, O daughter of Babylon, who art to be destroyed, happy shall he be that rewardeth thee as thou hast served us. Happy shall he be that taketh and dashed thy little ones against the stones," because everything they done to us is gonna come right back upon them. The things the destruction they done caused, the stealing this land, or as brother quoted earlier, Richard got by the seat. Now it's their turn, man. The brother mentioned, they got away as Cain, right? They got away as Esau, Jacob's brother. But now these people, man, they finna go through harsh punishment. And Job 18, I didn't read it, but it said they're gonna come into the hands of the king of terrors. Who do you think that is, man? The king of terrors. They're gonna have nightmares about what we're gonna do to them. And it's gonna be continued. Those 1,000 years, we're gonna be on their head, man. Even some of the other nations gonna be wanting to get their get back on what Esau, doing to their ass.
Whoop Esau ass.
And this Deuteronomy 30 and 3, where it's like,
Curses.
curse y'all
30 and 7.
30 and 7.
And also got a precept for this.
Con. So this Deuteronomy 30 and 7, saying the Lord Yahweh, thy power will put all these curses upon thy enemies and on them that hate thee, which persecuted thee, right? So soon we're going to see the tables reversed, right? That's a future prophecy that we, looking for, right? And especially with Esau Edom, man, we can't wait, right? I'll grab a quick piece of it real quick. What you thinking?
Bring a precept to back you up what you just read, Deuteronomy 37.
All you gotta do is really just gonna read the book of Obadiah, man. It's gonna show you everything that's gonna happen in Esau.
So this Psalms 2 and 8, he say, "Ask of me, and I shall give thee the heathen for thine inheritance, and the uttermost parts of the earth for thy possession," right? So this is showing, right, along with Jeremiah 30 and 16, if I'm mistaken, Revelation 13, 10, Isaiah 14 and 2, man, how these other nations, right, especially Esau Edom, are going to be our slaves in the kingdom of heaven, right? And that's soon to come, man. Those, plus the curses that we had upon us, are going to be put upon them, man. So, the table's going to turn, right?
It's already happening.
God, man, we see it happening, as of right now.
That upper verse in Psalms 2 you just read, that was Yahweh saying how he was a friend to you. How Shai, he was telling him, because Yahweh gonna be the first slave master in the kingdom, man. He gonna be the first slave owner in the kingdom. He gonna have his slave, those elite things. So we gonna be slaughtering them, man. Continuing employment, man. We're gonna make them bury all these dead bodies gonna be laying around, all that type of. But I got a precept back up on those curses gonna switch. Because curses gonna switch. This is Lamentations 4, verse 21. It says, "Rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom," right? That those in the land of Uz, right? Because right now they should be happy. You see them elites, you see all these people, Esau, running around. They should be happy right now because this is their kingdom. They should enjoy this place. Nah, it's just really keep asking.
How you saying how Esau ain't supposed to be happy, man? They in panic right now, right? Even though they ain't trying to show up, man, they ain't full out panic.
But it says, it's like.
No, I'm done.
No, it says, "Rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom, that those in the land of Uz. The cup, which are the curses, also shall pass through into it. Thou shalt be drunken and shalt make thyself naked." And when you understand that, what they say, also, I think it's Revelation 18, the cup, basically the cup they have filled them double. Right? These curses gonna come right back upon them. It's gonna read again. It says, "The cup also shall pass through unto thee. Thou shalt be drunken and shalt make thyself naked," man. Right? They finna be all these curses that's upon us. They finna get these same things, man. Everything finna come right back upon them, man. Right? Verse 22 it says, "The punishment of thine iniquity is accomplished," right? And that's talking to daughter of Zion, I'm talking to Israel, right? Because when you come to the truth, now you understand why we in the curses, why we in captivity. You come to the remembrance. Like Elder did a lesson a while ago. It was called, the truth puts you back in the ruling class mentality. You understand where we come from, our true knowledge, our true understanding, man. You understand why we suffer. You understand these things, right? It says, he will no more carry thee away into captivity. He will visit thine iniquity, O daughter. He will discover thy sins, right? So now they've been exposed, and those curses finna come right back upon them, man. They gonna have to drink of that cup. They ain't gonna be able to get away from it. They ain't gonna be able to pour it out. It says fill them double.
Bring that up.
Now, this is the book of Revelation, chapter 12, verse 12. And it reads, therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that... Slack it. It said, therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil has come down unto you having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time.
Man, they know, man. They know they finna go into, a hardship, slavery, and things of that such, man. Why you think they come down on Israel so bad, man? Right? The ICE, right? And with this government shutdown, it done escalated the riots and things like that even more, right? With more killings. I don't know if y'all seen it, but there's an article today on it, right? A man just got shot today by ICE, right? So everything's continuing to ramp up in our favor, though, right? Even though the world's seeing that, America is crumbling down, the things that they said, this are the things that we pray for, man. This put the smile on our face, because why? Romans 13 chapter, and now that we see that our salvation is there, that, than we ever believed, right? Roughly paraphrasing, right? Now we see the signs, we're seeing the thing that's happening, right? So now these are faith boosters, right? But you'll grab that real quick.
Yeah.
Oh, you ain't got no, you'll grab Revelation 18.
This Job 14:5. It says, seeing his days are determined, the numbers of the seeing his days are determined.
So now, as y'all can see, that Esau have an end, right? Second is the 6th chapter, right? So Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that follows. So how you see how his days are determined? Now you see that Esau, Edom chapter is almost over, because what year is it? 2026. How many years have America been so-called in rulership? And what do the Lord do with kingdoms that been ruling around that long? Come on, man. And that's why you grab that real quick because you said that.
That's why I said it. Revelation 18:2, it says, he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the Great is fallen, and has become the habitation of devils, and the hold of every foul spirit, and the cage of every unclean and hateful bird.
Man. So we saying that these devils is falling, man, day by day, man, through the government, through his own people, through the wars, right, through the threats of the wars, right? We're seeing all the signs, man. These are the things that Yahushua gave his disciples, and what Matthew the 24th chapter, right? Mark, right? Luke, right? He gave them signs to watch so they can know what time they were living in, man. Now we see that we of that generation that's going to be able to see Yahushua return back with the angels, right? So you can finish off that Job.
It says, Job 14:5 again says, seeing his days are determined, the number of his months are with thee. Thou hast appointed his bounds that he cannot pass.
Man. So we see that Esau have an end, man. Like it speaks about sick Ezra was that. Is that the 9th chapter? What's it? Like the end is manifest or something like that. I don't know.
Oh, yeah,
I remember.
But another point too, how you say, even how it says he cannot. Read this again. The latter part of it says, thou hast appointed his bounds that he cannot pass. What? That's the whole point, and that's how he's that's how he's showing that Esau finna ramp up with the digital, the basically the new world order. He finna come with that mark of the beast. It's coming soon, because Esau, like you mentioned earlier, how they panic. They're supposed to be rejoicing, but they panicking. Esau's seeing that time is up, so now that's showing you that, but they finna ramp everything up, because they can't go past what they only gonna go as far as Yahweh shall allow. And they know that they understand, like you brought out Revelation 12, they understand that the time is up for them, right? So now they seeing like, hold up, boy, but we run out of time. Our whole objective was to keep people confused. We was trying to kill them off and slaughter them and things and such, but it caused too much ruckus. Why those protests and all those type of things? Yahweh Shai really put the spirit on the people to go out and cause all that ruckus. So Esau, you gonna cause too much riots. was just slaughtering Jake. So they was like, you know what? Let's stop beating them. Let's just control them. Now they figure out that we can't control them. Now like, you know what? But now we got to do our new order. It might not just be all the way ready yet, but now we got to push it out here. We can't wait no longer. You feel? We can't, cause now, you know, it's like just like the brother mentioned, you know, these elites, these people are wise and day. They know what's going on. They know that it's up now. It's like it ain't no more time. It ain't no more planning time.
I don't know if y'all seen it, but now they got even Mr. Beast. Y'all know Beastables? Yeah, you got Mr. Beast talking about the damn RFID, man.
I'm telling you, they gonna use that because they knowing now. And the first people who gonna do it is them same people who y'all love, them football players, the rappers, all the people. Them gonna be the first ones.
Put it shit on the kids.
The first one, if you don't got, that's why these women. Now these women, you cook. These women who run around looking for benefit, things that such. Man, I'm be real with you. Esau vicious. You know they come take whatever you not giving, right? Man, you ain't got no defense for yourself when you cook. Esau, he don't go force you. He ain't got no choice. You know, if you.
It's like, but that's why the upcoming circumstances is gonna force Isaiah 4:1.
Mm-hmm. And that's what I was about to say. Cause that's how it's all falling in order. Even when you see it, like the brother was saying, you know, this hype us up because we seeing prophecy being fulfilled. It's like Ezra 9 again, you know. Now we seeing that the Most High about to Yahweh is about to visit the world which He made. Right, so now we see these things. Women taking hold of one man because he's gonna be in the. You know how Esau is. They ain't gonna get into it, but Esau take whatever they want from you whenever they want to. Right? If you ain't got no fence to fight for yourself, or you cook. Like brother mentioned, children, all these type of man, people cook. They been snatching kids up for the longest. You think what you think they finna do now? They finna snatch them up, put them chips in them, and sit them in the schools. Yeah, I got this right here. You know.
Parents, well, if your kid get into school, the same way that your child has to get certain vaccinations.
Mm-hmm.
They might not even tell you. They might just have them motherfuckers. You know how they used to come to school and give out free shoes and shit like that to school. Come on, they gonna be in the lunchroom. Everybody coming in, y'all gotta take this shot. By the kids ain't go no better.
Hey, I don't know if one of the brothers seen or I just seen on the internet, but y'all seen that thing where the dude was talking to they was having like a little council meeting. It's in a certain state, but basically was like he was exposing. He was like, so y'all putting certain vaccines in foods in restaurants that they're serving the people. He was like, yeah, it's certain vaccines that we put into the food. Like, in this thing, like, so you think it's a whatever state, I forgot what state, I'm gonna find it if we don't send it to the group chat, but basically he was saying, like, in a certain state, they put in certain vaccines, thing that's such in the food, so you don't even know if you taking it or not. You biting down the burger. Yeah, you biting down the burger the whole time, you done took a whole bag. You know how you eat a food?
Be careful with that rice.
You eat something, you feel like you sick, your body just start feeling weird, like, well, I ate such a other thing, but I wasn't feeling right.
So you took that bite, you get the chew on and shit, you swallow. Hold on, that shit got my stomach already.
Yeah, because Esau been hitting the food with the vaccine, all those things they won't put us out. Yeah, they been hitting with all that. That's why you gotta watch out in this kingdom. You gotta sit back and.
Shit, this snow we finna get. They got shit in the snow.
Y'all been seeing the video, but this shit won't melt.
Yeah, motherfucker got straight fire on it, man. That shit won't
best in the house, man.
Now one dude had it was a funny video, but one dude tried to jump into the snow. He just crazy stuff. But I ain't gonna lie, I'm being real.
Snow at all.
Yeah,
you gotta think, man, the snow's still on the damn ground, man.
That's how I'm about, boy. In New York, that's how I knew it different, because you know, we was in New York, like, when New York, you used to get snuff in the snow and your foot would sink. We couldn't drive to workouts. We used to work out too early. They come clean the streets around like 3, 4. So we up early to go to workouts. People couldn't drive, so we would walk. And we used to have to buy those boots because the snow would be high up. But I was down there in New York, man, you stuff with that. You think they gotta get a foot grip, because what that was like, hold on, what are you, like, this was first, like, I'm still stepping on concrete. But it's whole snow, man, like, it was supposed to be whole snow.
Man, the foul everything, like how y'all talking about with the food, you know, it said, the scripture tell you that they should eat their bread defiled amongst the heathen. You know what I'm saying? The perfect paraphrase is this, that's what it's gonna be, man. It's like they do whatever they want with this, man. Ain't really nothing you can do about it. That's why the elders tell you, you know what I'm saying, when they come to your diet, you know what I'm saying, you gotta try to eat the best of the worst. You know what I'm saying? Because it's all bad. At least even the fruits. Exactly. You gotta do due diligence.
And another thing that we was talking about too, one day they was going into a heavy, you know, even now, even just, you know, speaking on it, prayer gonna be even bigger than before. You gonna have to pray over, you gonna have to all the time pray over your food, all the time pray over, because Esau coming with ways that, you know, nobody think about them putting the vaccine inside the food things. We've been knowing, they blowing up chicken, they doing this and that. But like, these are certain things that we ain't really paying attention. So prayer gonna be at this. Prayer should have always been at his all-time high, but now it's gonna be at that all-time high for real. Like you gonna have to
Without season.
Yeah, Elder Pastor Cabral always said, you should never not leave the house and don't pray, because you never know what's going on. All that.
I got a few closing precepts for you. Y'all ain't got that.
See that?
I saw it, but I seen a video Kim Kardashian daughter. They was basically saying how her knees touch and she go, they knock me.
Yeah, I don't got that.
I mean, you say you got a few, or you
Yeah,
gonna grab?
I got two.
I'm gonna read this right quick. I was holding this since the beginning of the camp. The point. What's the point? This I got it from root 2 and 30. I started 29. I just read on down to 35. Right? Again, just because Babylon, the place that we in now, right? We're in the land of our captivities, right? But like it says in what is root 4, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't for our destruction, right? It was basically to teach us a lesson because we went off, right? It was a stiff-necked people, right? But at the end of the day, Yahweh Shai is going to bring us back to what we're supposed to be, and that's what we're looking forward to, right? That's why Babylon, going back to the title at hand, America, Babylon, Egypt, Sodom and Gomorrah, wherever you want to call it, this place has to be destroyed. You know what I'm saying? What's the title? Make America
Mourn again.
Make America mourn again. It has to happen, right?
For real, man.
So this is root 2, and I start 29. Right? It says, "If you will not hear my voice, surely this very great multitude shall be turned into a small number among the nations, where I was scattering them." And that's what happened, because we were a great nation at a point in time, but because we didn't listen, we turned into a quote unquote small number. Meaning, it's very, like here, where we live in the quote unquote good old South. The majority is quite obviously Esau Edom. You know what I'm saying? We're small, right? Verse 3, it says, "For I knew that they would not hear me, because it is a stiff-necked people. But in the land of their captivities, they shall remember themselves." And that's what happened when you go into, the 1970s, right? The Lord placed a spirit upon, Abba Bivens, to bring the truth back out. Where? Right here in the land of our captivities, specifically up there in New York, right? Verse 31. It says, and shall know that I am the Lord their power, and I will give them a heart and ears to hear. And that's what happened to the people, in these modern times, right? Those ears to hear. Right? We're now, and we're as in the people who are in the truth are hearkening to the voice of the Yahweh Shai. Right? Verse 32, it says, "And they shall praise me in the land of their captivity, and think upon my name, and return from their stiff neck and from their wicked deeds, for they shall remember the way of their fathers, which sinned before the Lord," right? And again, we have the names Yahweh Shai now, right? So we're not like, your average J calling on Jesus and God, whatever, Christ. That we know the true name. Two more verses, verse 34. It says, "And I will bring them again into the land which I promised with an oath to their fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and they shall be lords of them. And I will increase them, they shall not be diminished. And I will make an everlasting covenant with them to be their power, and they shall be my people. And I will no more drive my people out of the land that I have given them." And again, people over there now are not the people that's supposed to be there, because otherwise that would mean that we're in the new covenant. That would mean that there are no wars to be worried about, that there are no nations coming against other nations, so on and so forth. We wouldn't be out here teaching to our neighbors, right? Because we've been in the new covenant, right? If the true people of Israel were over here. But that's, again, Yahweh Shai has to destroy this place, get his people up out of here, that being the elect, and take us over back to the land where the news promised.
Quick point, how you had talked about how about Bivens. I was trying to from that math. That's going on my notes. Remember the math who's going to wrote down Revelation 13, the 40 and 2 months about the time period. You still got to know the time period. It's crazy. This time period is lined up exactly to what to win the Esau power to win. The truth came back, and it's showing you that now it's in that time to Esau days are numbered for real. When you especially when you see that
That was 13.
Revelation 13 verse it says verse 5, 40 and 2 months.
So that that 40 and 2 months is really, it says 3.5 years, right, which is 40 and 2 months, but it's really equal to what, 350 years, right? So then when you think about the year when they first, when the people of America, or the British, quote unquote, first came over here, right? When was that? What was their first establishment? Jamestown. What year was that? It was 1619, right? When you do the 350 years, what do you get from that, right? It's around 1970s, right? It was really 1969, and that's when our business, right? Our business got the truth, right? That's the exact time. It's 350 years. Again, that just shows you how, this, not 300, is it 350?
It's 351 years.
351, but
351, right?
See the
Right
time,
there.
right? That's exactly what the Lord prophesied was going to be, that 40 and 2 months, right? Let me read that verse with the 40 and 2 months.
Because it goes to how they're going to have that power to blasphemy, but now the truth is out. Like we talked about earlier, now the truth has been so long without fruit, now it's flourishing. So now Esau can't get it, especially the elect. He can't come up against us no more. We got our sword now, which is the truth.
It says, and there was given, Revelation 13:5, and there was given unto him a mouth, speaking great things and blasphemies. Esau, Edom, right? It says, and power was given unto him to continue 40 and 2 months. And again, that's the time that they had without, over here in America, without us knowing, who we were. But, when the truth coming back out, that's marking, saying that the end of the end,
Yeah, I was going to read Job 8 and 22. And it reads, it says, it's the book of Job, chapter 8 and verse 22, right? And then it reads, it says, I read it in the KJV, but KJV first, it says, they that hate thee will be clothed with shame, and the dwelling place of the wicked shall come to naught. But this place is over with. The dwelling place, America, their land, which have been exposed, them and their land have been exposed, right? It's all finna come to naught, man. It's all over with. In the NLT, it says, those who hate you will be clothed with shame, and the home of the wicked will be destroyed. Right? So we knowing Esau, the out of time, we knowing the destruction, the spirit probably how about saying outside the destruction that's gonna come upon us.
All right. This is Wisdom of Solomon 3. And I started at 1. It says, but the souls of the righteous are in the hand of the Most High, and there shall no torment touch them. In the sight of the unwise, they seem to die, but the departure is taken for misery. Second precept, Ecclesiastes 7 and verse 2, and it reads, it is better to go to the house of mourning than to go to the house of feasting, for that is the end of our men, and the living will lay into his heart. Right. So basically, we at the end, man, and we're in a good spot. All right. Just because it seems like we losing, or it seems like we dying, or it seems like we getting the bad end of the stick, we actually in a good spot. Right.
Father said that great dignity, rich in low places, man. In due time, the one most I gonna set up over one as a prophet. So you gotta stay down. As Scripture say, cast all care upon him. He exalt you in due time. In the paraphrase.
Again, what I'm saying? Like Scripture said, the world should hate you, so you shouldn't be in a high place in this world. If you aren't in a high place in this world, again, like you said, you're really in the best. In the best place.
You know how I say it, like in the world, like they say the nosebleed be the best seats.
You see everything, right?
Even also how it is in the movie. The whole time the dude was, the whole time the one person, whoever it is, been framed for something. The whole movie, everybody going against him. Then at the end of the movie, guess what? It's revealed that he was really the good guy. It's on the way, man. You just gotta let the movie play out. You can't rush it. You can't skip it. You just gotta let it play all the way through so you can get the full context. Remember, not one jot, one tittle, some moves, so I'll be fulfilled.
You got something to do?
I do, man. It's on my spirit.
Bring it up, man.
Cause you know how we were talking about, how Esau coming down with this great route, man, thing with that sense. You know how the Lord is in balance. The Lord is, balance on each end. So the same way how he, go increase the left, same way how he gonna increase, the left hand side, the same way he gonna increase the right hand side, right? How we going into, we're in the times of Jacob's trouble, and the MOTB, right around the corner, soon to be made mandatory World War III and things of that says. The Lord is going to the Lord is going to lift up those standards, right? And that means what? Those spiritual powers, right? That the elect, or some brothers on this side will receive spiritual powers, right? And and like it reads in 2nd Ezra, the 16th chapter. Now I grab that real quick along with this other precept. Just give me 1 second. Right, the people going to understand that who the Lord chosen are, right? But I'll read that second. So this Isaiah 59:19 says, "So shall they fear the name of the Lord Yahweh from the west, and His glory from the rising of the sun. When the enemy shall come in like a flood," right? As we saying how they doing now, but this only at the this at a low scale right now with ice, right? But soon they gonna be like madman sparing none, right? So it say, so when the enemy shall come in like a flood, what a flood, flood is rushing, right? Water, flood, what do you call it? Landslide, shit like that, stampede of animals,
Take
right?
out everything in its path.
Kind. So it say, the spirit of the Lord Yahweh shall lift up a standard against him, right? Against who? Against the heathen, right? Our enemies, right? That standard gonna be what? Brothers getting those spiritual powers to what? To be able to defend ourselves, right? To be able to defend our people, right? And it's crazy, but it's already brothers with those spiritual powers, right? And in the sense, and prayers and things of that sense, because kind. And the brother Jim Mess Ancient Wine, I don't know if the brother subscribed to him or not, but he said how he had jumped his thumb real bad, basically broke it, right? He said it was hurt for months and for months and for months. And then the brother had came up to him, the brother amongst his count, and he was like, if you don't mind, let me put some ointment on your thumb and let me pray over it, right? Then he said like a month later, he realized that he ain't had those thumb problems anymore, right? So brothers have spiritual powers right now, but soon it's gonna be at a higher scale to where we gonna have those super strength, right? We're gonna be able to, do certain things that we can't even think of, right? So then I'm gonna read this, right? Since that standard is soon gonna be lifted, right? So this 2nd Ezra 16 and verse 73, and it reads, "Then shall they be known who are my chosen." Why is they? That's many reasons, but one of those reasons go why. Hey, brothers gonna have those spiritual powers to be able to defend those hills, to be able to destroy Esau, and the people they gonna see that, right? They gonna be able to witness, brothers with the spiritual powers, right? And they say, and they shall be tried as the gold in the fire, right? Hear, O ye my beloved, I'll finish off with this here. O ye my beloved, said the Lord, behold, the days of trouble are at hand, but I will deliver you from the same. So, that just was on my spirit, man, because, hey, same way how Esau come down that route, same way the Lord go uplift, the elect, right?
Another quick point before we close out, it just goes to show, just like nothing is coincidence. How how you mentioned it, how Esau, they put those type of things in the movie. You might see a guy, he be a regular person, next thing you know, they trying to grab him and take him up, and he'll just mess around and just like pull him back and have a whole, hey man, like, hey, it ain't no coincidence. Esau them know, man, they know. They just want you to hold you down, because the only way you're gonna receive that power is being up there. Hopefully let you have this knowledge, understanding, and truth, But if not, they know without this truth you dead. So they, what and Baruch once said this chapter, I forgot what chapter it is, but he's basically saying how you dead. And the other Apostle Harvey, he like bring it out. He said, how you gonna pray to Yahweh Shah you dead? How you gonna hear your prayer? You dead.
The Lord did not send us, but I was just gonna say that you said that because Stranger Things at the end, the last season, like the last episode, if not the episode before, what happened? Right before his mom, his best friend, and another dude, what happened? As soon as they was finna got them be killed, what he do? He got the spiritual powers and was able to save them. Same thing with the elect, right? Same thing with the elect.
Well, it's crazy thing now.
I told you, that shit spiritual, bro. It's spiritual. Even the elder brothers been bringing it up, bro. That shit spiritual.
Nah, it is. Well, not
Right,
like.
check it out, man.
Now you gotta watch it. I ain't gonna lie, too.
It's a good little show, man. Ain't gonna count, bro.
You know how when you watching the show, they get to the point like you see everything spiritual. I watching the Book of Eli. That's how I had watched it. It's spiritual. I'm looking. I'm like,
that's
but,
crazy.
but you know, I ain't never watched. So like, I'm not watching it. I'm not like. Now I'm seeing this. I'm trying to figure out what's going on in the movie. And at the end, I realized like, hold on, but it's crazy. But like, he got it real, but at the same time, they can see it, they can read it, but they don't get it because they don't got the spirit. You know, but it's kind of.
All right. And with that, Lord willing, this count was edifying. Again, until next time, we got to close out by giving all praise, all honor, and all glory to the Most High.
Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushua, Bahashim, Kakadash.
Double honors to the apostles, the elders, and great millstone. Shalom, and shalom to both of you. Shalom, shalom.